Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special presentation of first, what we like to call Dead Box. You know us from Dylan Box. I'm Ryan.
I'm Chris.
And we are changing things up a little bit for this segment, and we're going to talk about another one of our favorite bands, which is the Grateful Dead.
Yep.
And Chris, why don't you kind of tell us what your relationship is with this band? And
With the Dead. Actually, I was probably a little bit late to the kind of full Dead experience. Everyone who was my age, you had to have American Beauty, Working with Man's Dead. You just had to buy those albums, whether you cared about the band or followed the band or anything. They were just mandatory.
Right.
And I thought both of those were wonderful records. They've become even more important with age. I was not part of the Dead as a following,
Right.
particularly. When my band would play, we had this one fan, Donald Fosdick, who he talked like this.
oh,
And he said, I love the Dangers. They're really good. But you gotta see the Dead. You gotta see the Dead. And it's like his voice almost made you
Right.
want to
He
see
sold
the,
it.
Yeah, sold the Dead, or you felt you were dead. He just had this piercing voice. He was great. He was a great friend, but he was always wanting us to see the Dead. And almost a couple of years later, I sort of maybe I got one of the first Dick's Picks.
Mm-hmm.
It's from listening to the Here Comes Sunshine or something. It was like the first
Right.
thing on it. And I go, oh, it's kind of burlesque. Perhaps the Dead turned out more things than just those two albums, and not just the concerts, but really focusing in on Jerry Garcia and Robert Hunter as songwriters. Mm-hmm. The quality of the songwriting was almost underplayed
Right.
compared to some of the other, visual experience.
Yeah.
And then maybe I had a little compilation. It was a little tiny little brown little box thing that of a series of shows that were collated that went all the way back to like the Warlocks.
Okay.
And then moved forward
Okay.
to
I think I know what you're talking about.
maybe the last show.
Right,
And,
right.
and it was just very happenstance. But then I started listening to it like, there's so much more here that I missed.
Okay. I think I got into the Dead in the early 90s. I had heard from somewhere a CD.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the greatest hit CDs, and I really liked it. Found out my parents were not Deadheads, but were into the Dead.
Yeah.
And so my entryway through the Dead was through the tapes. So they, as most people know, they authorized fans to record tapes for free. So fans would go to the shows with microphone setups and recorders and tape the entire show. They'd have their own section. Sometimes they would be able to patch into the soundboard so you get like a crisp recording. And then there would be tapes circulated among fans.
Yeah.
So I would get these like fanzines, and then in the back it would advertise you can get shows if you send in people like old Deadheads that had a lot of tapes. They said send blanks and postage, and they'll send you back tapes. So after a while I had about like maybe 100 tapes of like up until college, and then one time I came back and they were gone, and my mom had thrown them away like after a while. But that was how it was all through the tapes, so it'd be like legendary Dead shows from different eras. My favorites were like 69, 72 to 74, 77. The year I was born was an amazing year. But it wasn't so much the studio albums.
Right.
And I like some of the studio albums, but the Dead, as most people know, their studio output is a little inconsistent. So they have some, like, of course, American Beauty, Working Man's Dead are just stellar. But we're going to talk about one today that actually this year it's I believe it's 50th anniversary.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's in the box. So
Okay.
go ahead and pull that one out. Oh, Wake of the Flood.
Yeah,
And so this was
Scroll down there.
this was a release this year of an edition. So this one, I'll just kind of show you what the vinyl looks like. This is really nice. It's a colored vinyl. So it's like a sea. I guess it matches the sky. One little tidbit, if you're a Uber fan like me, if you look at the cloud formation, it looks a little like something you might see at a Grateful Dead concert. If you look carefully at that.
Yeah.
I won't say what it is, but I'm sure you'll figure that out.
Probably smog.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. So what do you know about this record?
When I go back to that, first Dick's Picks.
Oh, hey. You mean this?
Oh, there you go. Yes, I
Right?
had the CD of
Me too.
Volume 1.
This is also released this year. This is volume 1 of
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Right? Just brought that along.
Aw, what a Christmas present. How did he know?
Hey, I'm
But-
generous.
Exactly. But Here Comes Sunshine, when I first heard that, and it sent me back
Right.
to Wake of the Flood.
Right.
Even from the cover, this was an unusual cover for
Sure.
album cover there.
Sure.
It was a different artist, and there's the feel of this album is the feel of that cover. I don't know why it matched so well.
Earthy. Like,
Yeah.
right? Like you have Here Comes Sunshine. You have I'm not naming them in order, but you have Weather Report Suite, which just takes up most of side 2, which is all Bob Weir, which is great.
Yeah, a lot.
Stella Blue, which is one of my favorite Dead ballads ever. You have Eyes of the World, which is and that's really about kind of these themes. Mississippi Half Step, which is a great.
Wonderful
I think
song.
I think it's the first song on the record.
Yeah.
One song is like the keyboard guy, new keyboardist on this one. He gets a song. It's not the best song. It feels like it's out of place, but it's the second song gets out of the way. And
Yeah. Where does this fit in where Pigpen's out?
So
I mean,
Pigpen,
dies.
right? So Pigpen was a founding member when they were kind of a blues-based band.
Yeah.
In '65, and he passed in '72.
Oh,
Very young age, from cirrhosis of the liver.
Right,
He was a big
and-
drinker, and but he was
He was the spiritual center of that band. I mean,
Exactly.
He's not Jerry Garcia,
Right.
but when he'd sing his bluesy things, they could take flight. I think the earliest things of them taking flight
right.
is off of his blues renditions of things, and they would just pound.
So I think around like '72, maybe end of '71 even, like they brought in Keith, and it just kind of changed their sound. They also at some point before this record lost a drummer, so
that's true.
they had the 2-drummer thing.
Then all the financials.
Right.
that-
So like Mickey Hart's, who was the other drummer, his dad was managing the band, and he like took off with a bunch of their money.
yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll get
He
you on
felt
the
like hey,
drummer hot seat for a
right.
second.
So he kind of left the band for a while and then come back for a couple of years. So you were down to one drummer. So live and even on this album a little bit, they were almost like jazz fusion at some points a little bit, especially live.
Yeah, and I think that what is sort of within that transition is they're moving away from just the kind of blues based or the just maybe folk influences that were early on in there, and sort of discovering this bigger format like the
Right.
Bob Weir's contribution and whatnot. There's this kind of epic, 3-piece
Yeah.
suite.
It's like a prog thing. almost.
Yeah, that goes in a lot of different directions that I'm sure that the hardcore fans. Like I'm getting out of high school in 1973, so I remember folks reacting to the Grateful Dead differently. That they were changing really good, and some people thought that it's all kind of died with Pigpen or
Yeah.
something. And both things are probably true. That they had to be sort of reborn around this in newer configuration
Sure.
of folks.
And it wouldn't be the last time either.
No.
Or
no.
for them, yeah.
Yeah, they actually it's a big part of their story.
Yeah.
It's just the band or the chemistry that is a band. You can change one part of it, and it's not just one part. It's redoing the band.
Right.
It just seems like an album to where it's recorded better. Mm-hmm. I mean, the sound
Right.
of this album is pristine in a way that some of the other ones seem up to that time, a little kind of haphazard
sure.
sound. This is kind of the high fidelity Grateful Dead.
Absolutely. And I wanted to plug something else too. There's a podcast. It's the Grateful Dead pod or Deadcast.
Oh, yeah.
But they're they are doing like a profile on the album, and they're breaking down each song. And then they also released a collection of studio outtakes called the Angels Share, and they've done it for Working Man's Dead, they've done it for American Beauty, and they've done it for this now.
Oh, good.
So you can find it on streaming. It's great though. I was listening to it last night, but it breaks down like the early takes of these songs, and you can hear the genesis of them. And you're right, like they had a lot more at their disposal. This was like one of the first albums on their new record company, so the band was actually kind of taking ownership of their recording a little bit more, which is exciting for them, right?
Yeah, and sort of unprecedented.
Yeah.
In that era of the big studios,
Mm-hmm.
and you're sort of a slave to the studio, they're popular, but I wonder if they were that popular to take that risk and a kind of financial risk. So
Sure.
This is going to be our product now.
Sure. And one of the inserts on the record is, I guess, one of the things that happened was it was bootlegged. So kind of like nowadays, like a record would leak online, before it was even released. I guess this one was like bootlegged, and bootleg copies were made. So there's a reproduction of like a postcard
Oh,
that
cool.
was in the record. It just says, "Our record is being counterfeited. The authorities move too slowly, not recognizing that our survival is at stake.
Oh.
We need your diligent efforts. The counterfeit is square, not round corners on the stickers, and a white, not orange 0598 on the spine. Check all stores and immediately report phonies to us. Thanks, Grateful Dead Records."
The CD version of this 50th anniversary, and they discuss a lot about this being this kind of shift for them as a band and as a company, and that moving forward. In some ways they're never the same. They become well, they're a business moving forward, and so that postcard. I mean, what would they say about Spotify? Yeah.
Because Jerry himself famously said, like, once we do it live, we're done with it. So people can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
So, we have, like, of course, again, you have the Dick's Picks, which is like, multi-track, like, recordings. Dick Lotfula was like one of their archivists, and he made a lot of selections. This was the first one.
Yeah.
And then another one that came out this year, which is really good, it's RFK Stadium. It's from '73. And they're playing everything, like including a lot of songs from this record, but also like Dark Star and Playing in the Band and Birdsong and, kind of epic songs. A couple sides with the Allman Brothers at the end.
Wow.
It's great. So this is recommended as well for hardcore Dead fans. Phil Lesh, the bass player, famously said Grateful Dead is like Shakespeare. People are just going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And I could see that happening. I mean, their music is very rooted in American music. I think all like kind of forms are represented. Everyone in the band brought a different kind of music into the band itself, and then you had that create this big kind of stew.
Yeah.
So I think you hear all of that on this album too. I mean, they never really played a song the same way twice, and you can't really say that about too many groups. We feel that we've kind of picked a good band to start a new segment. That's Dead Box. Pick it up if you haven't done so already. Wake of the Flood 50th Anniversary Edition. Also Dick's Picks and RFK on vinyl. And there's just a ton of stuff out there for Grateful Dead. It's all, like I said, really good quality too.
So we'll have a lot of fun talking about
Yes.
Dead.
Dead Box.
This is the Dead.
Dedicated to your friend.
Don Fosdick.
All right. Well, thanks again. I'm Ryan.
I'm Chris.
And we'll see you again on another segment of Dead Box one of these days soon. Keep on trucking.